Okay, so is everyone ready? Can you see me? Not too close. I'm not comfortable with the shape of my head on camera. Wait, is the lens cap still on? We'll take it off. Okay, I think that's better. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a junior at Towson University, and this year I took an honor seminar with Dr. Fashkins called Global Literature, Telling Big Stories. And let me tell you, well, reading big stories, we did. And if you're anything like me, some of the works may confuse you a little bit. Actually, I was talking to some of my classmates outside while we were waiting for the proper time to enter the classroom, and that can be discussed at a different time, and we all thought it'd be kind of cool if we had some prior knowledge coming into this class. So the first book we had to read was this monster, the Odyssey. Not saying it was bad, it was just an epic, so it was epically long and sometimes a little bit confusing. And like I said before, my friends and I were talking, and we thought it would have been a little bit cooler if we had some prior knowledge coming into this class. And then we thought about it, and we said, wouldn't it be awesome if we left behind something for future students such as yourselves to help them better understand? Our oikos of knowledge, if you will. If you don't know the definition, don't worry, you will learn it. I'm being a little liberal with it, but we're calling it my creative license. Anyway, it's all about the technology today, and who doesn't love sitting down to watch good vlogs, so we decided to make a video diary for our adaptation of the Odyssey to help you better understand the epic. I hate to get lecture hall on you, but I think it's kind of important if I go over some stuff about adaptation before we get started. So first, I should let you know there are no literal adaptations. As adapters, we perform, wait for it, surgical art when we create our adaptations. As Hutchinson and O'Flynn said, adapters are first interpreters and then creators. So first, we had to read the Odyssey and then make our own interpretations. What were the main points? What were the themes? Were there connections? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll let you do some of that work. I mean, we're helping you with the videos. The least you can do is watch all of them and then maybe make some of your own connections. So after we interpreted, we created our own adaptation for your educational enlightenment, hopeful enjoyment. So when you read adaptations as adaptations, Michael Alexander called them palimpsestuous works, which means that while you're reading or watching the adaptation, the original work is kind of always in the back of your mind. It haunts the work, if you want to get fancy. And I know for some of you, or most of you, who haven't read the Odyssey, it might not really be in the back of your mind while we watch these vlogs. Oh, well actually, if you think about it, when you're reading the Odyssey in class, you might have our vlogs in the back of your mind. So for you guys, in a weird way, it's kind of like the Odyssey is an adaptation of our vlogs. Now obviously I'm dreaming big here. Don't write a journal entry about how well Homer adapted our vlog. You're not going to get an A for that. You're probably just going to get kicked out of class. Anyway, disclaimer, as I said before, there are no literal adaptations. As adapters, we can change time, we can change pace, we can change points of view. So although it will help you understand the Odyssey, don't substitute it for reading it in class. Adaptations can adapt many things: the spirit of the work, the tone, the style of the author, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I don't know how much I can do with the style of Homer. Memorization really isn't my thing. So for our adaptation, we're going to adapt, as most adaptations do, the story. And for our adaptation, our story is going modern. Now, the Odyssey starts out pretty much assuming the reader knows everything that happened in the Trojan War. And if you're anything like me and a little bit well-versed on things like Harry Potter, you're going to be confused. I thought it would have been a little bit awesome if they would have had like a bullet point summary of things that happened before the Odyssey, so I wasn't as confused. Anyway, so our adaptation has given the role of the narrator, which is me, whose job is to explain the background information of what happened prior to our story. So where is my list? Oh, did you think I was going to memorize all of this? Like I said before, my name is not Homer, I am not an epic poet, so it's not in my job description to memorize all this. But it could be kind of fun if I tried. We're keeping character names the same to avoid confusion, and plus, I mean, people are naming their kids all kinds of unique things these days. So, here's our catalog of characters, and we shall begin. First we have Zeus, and he is the head honcho of Olympia Artifacts, located in the lush, beautiful landscape of Olympia, California. They buy and sell ancient artifacts, and they are like top-notch in the field. I mean, if you pull a Nicolas Cage and you find thousands of years of Freemason treasure buried under Trinity Church, you're taking it to this guy. And then we have Athena, Zeus's apprentice, and she may be the apprentice, but she's a savvy businesswoman, and she's got way more pull than you think. She even advises Zeus on some occasions. She's the reason he hired Odysseus in the first place. I mean, that's why she mentors Odysseus when he gets in some trouble. I mean, how's it going to look if the guy you hired is making all these bad things happen? Anyway, then we have Odysseus. He is one of Zeus's most successful businessmen. Actually, probably the most successful. He hails from Ithaca, California. It's Not really the best place California has to offer, but it's nice, and he's so rich he practically owns the whole city anyway. As any proper businessman, he has a wife, Penelope, your standard trophy wife. Or is she? She's gorgeous and spends most of her time pining for Odysseus in their spacious Ithaca mansion. They also have a son, Telemachus, and that has spoiled rich brat written all over it, and he doesn't disappoint. They also have tons of maids running around, but what well-established mansion doesn't have those? Then we have Menelaus, one of Odysseus' associates. He lives in New York City, and he also has a wife, Helen, and she's kind of, well, I'm not going to use that word on here. Anyway, she had an affair with Paris, who works for Otherworld Artifacts located all the way in Troy, Turkey, and they are Olympia's biggest competitor. And because she was getting it on with Paris, and like I said before, she's not the nicest of gals, she stole documents from Menelaus' office and gave them to Paris. She wanted to help his business become more successful, because honestly, no matter how much of a good time she has with Paris on the side, she's not leaving Menelaus for second best. So, as any good drama-filled story, Menelaus found out about the documents, and he can't just let Paris take them, so he called Odysseus and brought up some promise they made to each other, probably in their drunken college days. And he and Odysseus and 30, 40, 100 of their closest business associates ended up trekking all the way to Troy, Turkey to get these documents back. You can imagine how interesting that was when Odysseus and his crew showed up at the office door. Sparing you the details, I'll let you use your imaginations on that one. It's a very long story. Odysseus was successful in getting the documents back. Now, Menelaus flew back to New York immediately, but Odysseus decided to take a pleasure cruise with his associates. Not really the best decision, but I don't know if I mentioned this before, he kind of has a weakness for luxury. I mean, why fly home when you can spend a few weeks on the high seas making new friends and relaxing and maybe even getting some more artifacts to take home with you? Just think of how many rich people are just sunning on those boats waiting to meet a well-established businessman who can help them figure out what to do with their thousands of family heirlooms that are currently just collecting dust in their spring and summer and fall and winter homes. So now everything seems fine and dandy, business has been restored, and Odysseus is on his way home to his cushy job and gorgeous house and loving wife and son, but his ship is blown off course. This is where our story begins. Odysseus is desperately trying to get home, and thanks to some shady and sinister and sometimes just a little bit odd characters, that's proving to be quite the problem. And while those shenanigans are happening in Ithaca, things aren't going so peachy either. Yes, everyone loved and respected Odysseus while he was working at Olympia Artifacts, but now that he's gone, let's just say all those businessmen would do a lot worse than betray a co-worker. And since we're playing the backstabbing game, why not get with his wife too? But our trophy wife isn't giving in so easily. She's got a household to run complete with maids and a bratty playboy son and a horde of, let's just call them suitors, who spend most of their time freeloading at Odysseus' house. So what will become of Odysseus? Will he ever get home? What will happen to poor, sweet, devoted Penelope in their gorgeous Ithaca mansion? Will Telemachus ever get off his butt and do anything? And will Athena have to intervene again and again and again? I can tell that you're already intrigued. All these questions will be answered, plus more. Hang on to your towels and caps, folks, because this is going to be epic.